November 2022, Moscow, Idaho. 4 university students brutally murdered in their beds. A killer on the loose. And the internet was about to make everything worse. Sunday morning, November 13th. Police receive a frantic call. A student appears unconscious, not responding. Officers rush to the scene near University of Idaho campus. But she wasn't unconscious. She was dead. Her boyfriend, dead beside her. 3rd floor, 2 more students, also dead. 4 lives extinguished in one night of violence. If you want to see how this story ends, hit that subscribe button and like this video right now, because what happens next will shock you. No suspects, no leads, just rumors of a masked figure leaving the house that morning. The killer could be anyone, walking among them, breathing the same air. Police issue contradictory statements. The public panics. And when official channels go silent, the internet fills the void with something far more dangerous than silence. Speculation. Reddit creates dedicated communities. 80,000 members in weeks. TikTok explodes with theories. Everyone becomes a detective. Everyone has a theory. Everyone thinks they can solve what the police cannot. But they'd done this before, hadn't they? Boston Marathon bombing, 2013. Reddit's manhunt ended in disaster. Innocent people accused. Lives destroyed. Surely they learned from that mistake. They hadn't learned anything. November 14th. Police released the names: Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogen, Xana Kernodle, Kaylee Goncalves. 4 bright futures erased in minutes. The official statement is careful, restrained. We do not believe there is an ongoing community risk, but that wasn't entirely true. The 911 call mentioned a man who broke in. Crime scene showed no forced entry. All 4 victims covered in stab wounds, many defensive. They fought for their lives. Police won't release the 911 call, won't mention scene details. They know something, but they're not talking. 1 day later, they adjust the statement. No suspects. Looking for an edged weapon, probably a knife. The killer is still out there. Make sure you're subscribed, because this gets darker. November 16th, Police Chief James Fry holds a press conference. We do not have a suspect at this time. That individual is still out there. We cannot say there is no threat to the community. They're trying to be honest, but it sounds like they're lost, like they don't know what they're dealing with. This perception will fuel chaos for months. The mayor speaks to media. Crime of passion, he says. Within hours, he's walking it back. Could be anything. Police don't know. November 17th. Deaths officially ruled homicides. Public knows 4 students murdered in their home. 2 students survived somehow, but police won't say how. The coroner speaks to press. Stabbed with a larger knife. Each word feeds the growing online frenzy. True crime enthusiasts see a pattern forming. Passion, knife, uncoordinated police. The narrative writes itself. The case will only be solved by ordinary people. By them. TikTok explodes. Idaho Four, Idaho murders, Idaho murder theory. Hashtags trending worldwide. Journalists flood the small town, not just covering news, creating content, competing with TikTok creators for views, for engagement, for relevance. On Reddit, a dedicated subreddit forms Moscow murders, 80,000 members within weeks. Initially collaborative, mapping the house, trying to understand how 2 students survived. But then the police go silent. Days pass, then weeks. Families of victims grow frustrated. Kaylee's brother speaks out. They're so vague with everything, then slowly peel it back later. What's the use in telling us about a sharp-edged weapon instead of just saying knife? You're not protecting case integrity by telling us nothing. November 21st, police release information about the 911 call. It came from one of the surviving roommates. But here's the disturbing part. The survivors called friends to the house first, before calling 911. They thought one victim was just passed out, not dead from multiple stab wounds, just passed out. The 911 call came at 11:58 a.m. The murders happened between 3 and 4 a.m. 9 hours between murder and emergency call. 9 hours. Twitter erupts. Have authorities considered the two survivors as suspects? That's a long time to get cleaned up. Dylan deletes all social media. Bethany makes hers private. To the internet, this means guilt. The survivors become prime suspects in the public eye. Two young women who escaped death now accused by thousands online. If you're not subscribed yet, do it now. This story is about to take a shocking turn. November 19th, New York Times publishes explosive information. Kaylee's sister contacted her phone provider, got the call logs, shared them with the world. The night of the attack, Kaylee made 7 calls to her ex-boyfriend Jack. First call at 2:26 a.m., 6 more over 26 minutes. Last call at 2:52 a.m., shortly before she was murdered. Jack and Kaylee dated 5 years, broke up 3 weeks before the murders. They shared a dog. That dog was in the house during the attack. The dog didn't bark, didn't raise alarm, like it knew the intruder. To social media, this makes Jack the perfect suspect. Recent ex, possible motive, access to the house. The dog knew him. Jack should be a person of interest. He had motive. Kaylee was living her best life, and Jack, like OJ, wasn't going to let her move on. TikTok creators do deep dives into their relationship. Does he have motive? In my opinion, yes. Does he have access? Yes. He's on my list. But Kaylee's family defends him. Jack is our family. Jack is with us. We stand behind him 100%. Her mother says they were on track to reconcile, would have married, had children. No way he would hurt her. But the internet finds a way. When a loved one dies, sometimes the perpetrator is pulled close, a subconscious reflex to not lose anymore. They're twisting grief into evidence, twisting love into guilt. Jack's aunt speaks to press. He's devastated, struggling with overwhelming hatred online. They were still friends. The split was friendly. None of that stops the accusations. None of that matters to the mob. Pause and hit that like button, because what's coming next will make you question everything. Moscow police forced to address Jack directly. Everything we've taken from those calls, we've followed up on. We've cleared him. We believe there's no connection. But if they hoped that would stop the mob, they were wrong. TikTok fills with shocked reactions. He was cleared very quickly. I'm suspect of that. Jack should explain himself to the public, or police should explain why he's not involved. One YouTube reporter strongly implies abuse. Most relationships don't start off abusive, but 1 in 4 women experience intimate partner violence. We don't always know what's going on. I'm not saying something is or isn't going on, but the most dangerous time is when a partner tries to leave. Implying without accusing. Destroying reputation without proof. Jack and the roommates aren't the only targets. November 18th, footage surfaces from a Twitch stream. Madison and Kaylee at a food truck late night, hours before murder. A man in a white hoodie walks behind them, hangs around in background. When they leave, he follows. The internet has its next suspect, hoodie guy. Creators notice Kaylee taking a selfie, camera angled higher than normal. Was she photographing the man behind her? Reports claim Kaylee had a stalker. This footage seems to confirm it. Hoodie guy fits perfectly. Police investigate extensively. We have pursued hundreds of pieces of information related to a possible stalker. We have not been able to verify or identify one. Moscow police never name Hoodie Guy. They don't have to. Online sleuths dox him within days. His name spread everywhere. We won't share it here. His connection to the case is non-existent. Same day, Kaylee's sister reveals they got an Uber home. The internet has another suspect, the Uber driver. He'd driven them before, multiple times. He had proximity, access, familiarity. The list of accused grows longer. The police make another statement. We do not believe the following are involved: the 2 surviving roommates, the male in the white hoodie at the food truck, or the private party who provided rides home. While police try shutting down theories, Moscow community deals with reality. A murderer walks free among them. But they're not just worried, they're grieving. Madison, Kaylee, Xana, Ethan weren't just victims in a crime story. They were friends, loved ones, real people. Friends knew Kaylee as a voice for those without one, always stood up for what mattered. Graduated early, starting new job in Austin, Texas. Madison was known for warmth and deep love of animals. Her legacy should be kindness, laughter, love. Xana was someone with a rare gift for lifting others up, turned bad situations into good ones. Ethan, one of triplets, was infectiously positive. People sought him out to brighten their day. End of November, students and families hold vigil. For one emotional but peaceful night, focus is not on suspects or evidence. It's about honoring 4 innocent students who had their lives torn away. Kaylee's father says, "The only cure to pain is love. That's the only thing that will heal us." A lesson the internet should have heeded. Make sure you're still subscribed. We're only halfway through this nightmare. University of Idaho campus becomes ghost town. Half the students stay home, take classes online. Those who stay rely on security to drive them to class. Too afraid to walk alone. Professor Zachary Turpin posts to Twitter, "Until police release more info or confirm a suspect, I can't in good conscience hold class." Ethan's father speaks to NBC. There's a lack of information from the university and local police. This only fuels false rumors in press and social media. The silence compounds our family's agony. I urge officials to speak truth, share what they know, find the assailant. While official investigation stays silent, social media gets louder. November 22nd, 2022. A Texas-based YouTube psychic, Reverend Donna Serafina Lambert, performs a detailed reading about the murders. For 39 minutes, she makes highly specific claims. Coffee house where she worked. He works a couple doors down where they make bread. French bread, baguettes, family business. His parents might own this business. TikTok is full of psychic videos, but this one is different, too specific to ignore. Reddit users who believe in paranormal take notice. Donna is legit. She accurately described the Tylee, Ryan, and JJ case almost a month in advance. Can someone help figure out the French bakery? Online sleuths research family-owned bakeries selling French bread in the area. One fits better than all others. But this bakery isn't a family business. The owner is unmarried, no children, staffed mainly by young employees already uncomfortable with constant journalists. The owner keeps store double-staffed after dark at his own cost, for safety. Then the store gets named on social media, overwhelmed with hostile calls, many demanding he turn over his non-existent son to authorities. Facebook page gets hundreds of thousands of visits. Catering orders for made-up names like Ducci Coward Incorporated. This store isn't the only victim of the witch hunt. 2 days after Donna's video, another spiritual investigator stirs the pot. Ashley Gilliard, a tarot reader claiming to solve crimes with paranormal gifts. She posts to TikTok. Her psychic skills led her to one word repeating in her mind: history. After Googling Idaho and history, Ashley claims she was intuitively led to University of Idaho's History Department website. She spiritually inquired into photos of each faculty member. Ashley claims she felt a reaction from every person except one history professor. Her alleged gifts tell her the professor was involved in inappropriate romantic relationship with Kaylee, that she grew obsessed, unable to handle rejection, hired a hitman to execute all 4 students and cover up the affair. No evidence, just feelings. But Ashley presents it as fact. Posts series of increasingly detailed accusatory videos. The history professor is going to prison for the murder of the 4 Idaho students. I'm not worried about her suing me because she'll be using her resources to fight murder cases. But the professor never taught Kaylee or any roommates. According to her, never even met them. Plus, she had an alibi in Portland, Oregon with her husband during the murders. Ashley's campaign kickstarts a toxic gossip train not easily stopped by facts. Drop a like if you're still watching. This gets worse before it gets better. Ashley benefits from the professor's misery, gets millions of views, 20,000 new followers. Some harass the professor on Ashley's behalf. Every day, the professor receives online threats, forced to take extra precautions for family safety. Her name now linked to the word murder in internet searches. The professor's reputation so seriously affected that she files defamation lawsuit against Ashley Gilliard. Moscow police completely lost control of the online narrative. They expected high public interest, but these hordes of amateur sleuths repeatedly stoop to new lows, accusing anybody who vaguely fit whatever profile, ruining lives in the process. Police issue their most direct statement yet. Investigators are monitoring online activity related to this case, aware of large amount of rumors and misinformation being shared, also harassing and threatening behavior toward potentially involved parties. Anyone engaging in threats or harassment could be subjecting themselves to criminal charges. We urge reliance on official channels for accurate information. But that's the problem. Official channels aren't releasing anything new. They've cleared people, debunked theories, but revealed no sign investigation is progressing. Until December 7th, 3 weeks into investigation, they finally release a potential lead. Moscow police call for information about a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra, seen near crime scene around time of murders. No further information. Within 24 hours, department overwhelmed with tips. So many they forward calls to FBI center. But to some Redditors, the delayed request is another red flag. Why did it take so long to look for the white Hyundai? This information should have been collected early on. Reddit spends entire week focused on the car, looking for matching vehicles through photos and footage, breaking down notable differences between models, distinctive rear lights, anything recognizable, but the car won't hold community's attention for long. December 18th, 6th week of investigation. A Facebook group posts exclusive new video. Surveillance footage shows Kaylee and Madison walking down street hours before murders, talking about someone. What did you say to Adam? The clip goes viral. Media outlets and creators spread it like wildfire. Everyone tries identifying mysterious Adam. Internet soon identifies him. bartender from local sports bar. They release his full name and workplace. Another intentional doxing. To online sleuths, he's next top suspect. He has ties to victims. He's fraternity brother of Kaylee's ex-boyfriend, Jack. Maybe that's why they were calling Jack so many times. They had bad situation with Adam. Adam no longer works at bar. This could implicate Jack. The bar receives barrage of phone calls from online investigators. People identifying as journalists reportedly follow employees and friends home. Then, December 20th, police confirm Adam is not a suspect. Despite being wrong again, Internet is undeterred. Quickly pivots to focus on third-year law student who lived across from victims. Appeared on TV multiple times to talk about murders. To them, his awkwardness on camera reads as suspicious. His smile is unnerving. Why is he wearing black bandage on left hand? He doesn't blink when he says, "No, I went to bed." Just strange. The student neighbor is hounded around the clock. He feels need to go on record. Creates throwaway Reddit account. Posts on Moscow Murders subreddit. "You all need to stop blaming me for something I had nothing to do with. Feel free to go outside, stretch your legs, breathe fresh air, and stop trying to pin this on me simply because I did interviews and didn't fit exact mold of what you think I should have looked or sounded like." Authorities cleared most popular suspects. No explanation, no new insights into case. While many continue suspecting them, it's becoming likely the killer is somebody they've never heard of, possibly with no clear motive. December 30th, 2022. Morning in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Quiet residential neighborhood. SWAT team moves in on a house, breaches front door. Moments later, they emerge with a 28-year-old man in handcuffs. A man nobody in the many Idaho sleuthing communities had ever mentioned or even heard of. Yet there he is, being led into squad car, identified as prime suspect in Moscow murders. The people who chased this case from the beginning respond with resounding "who?" Because while Internet had been chasing its tail, professionals quietly found their prime suspect, using methods far more sophisticated than crowdsourced gossip and guesswork. Long-term skeptics of Internet sleuthing take their chance. Reddit/online sleuthing added absolutely nothing in this case. Instead, doxed and harassed innocent people. Exact same cycle for every event true crime community latches onto. They're not wrong. While online communities have helped solve cases by providing authorities valuable information, online witch hunts fueled by speculation have never been helpful. Only end up causing harm to innocent people. Meanwhile, authorities had advantage thanks to evidence Internet never could have accessed. Physical DNA. Unknown perpetrator was so careless in crimes that police found multiple pieces of DNA evidence. First and most crucial, tan leather knife sheath left behind at crime scene. This KA bar knife sheath contained single source of male DNA on button strap. First critical piece of evidence in case. FBI loaded DNA profile from knife sheath onto publicly available genealogy sites. Built family trees of genetic relatives to suspect's DNA. Identified their prime suspect. But although investigators were confident killer and man whose DNA was on sheath were one and same, they needed more evidence before concluding. They were cautious, methodical, drastic contrast to Internet, which essentially spent over a month pointing fingers in dark. Law enforcement collected massive amounts of surveillance footage from businesses and residences around crime scene. Footage at gas station showed white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra driving in area, circling neighborhood several times an hour before killings. Police announced December 7th they were seeking occupants of this vehicle. Confident the person had critical information, authorities reviewed approximately 22,000 registered white Hyundai Elantras, including one registered to man at center of that DNA family tree. Cell phone tower data revealed suspect's phone connected to towers near crime scene 23 times over 4 months leading up to murders, all occurring between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. Suspect lived 8 miles away in Pullman, Washington. No clear reason to make that journey so often. Hit that subscribe button one more time. The ending will blow your mind. Night of murders, around 2:47 a.m., suspect's phone was in Pullman, then suddenly stopped connecting to network. Surveillance video captured his car leaving his apartment. 2 hours later, 4:48 a.m., his phone reconnected south of Moscow, showing him heading back toward Pullman. That window lined up perfectly with known timeline of murders. By late December 2022, suspect already became person of interest, even if authorities weren't sharing that information publicly. They needed something undeniable to justify arrest. Any hint to public of how close they were could prompt suspect to flee. FBI agents from Philadelphia field office established surveillance of his parents' Pennsylvania home, where he traveled for winter break. During several-day stakeout, they observed suspect exit house carrying trash bags while wearing surgical gloves, placing them into neighbor's garbage can. He also cleaned his car, inside and out, methodically scrubbing every inch. As soon as sanitation departments collected his trash, it was immediately handed to FBI. That trash flown to Idaho State Police Forensics Laboratory for analysis. Lab experts found used Q-tip with DNA identified as belonging to suspect's father. They ran it against killer's DNA from sheath, confirmed this was biological father of their killer. They now had concrete biological evidence. This man was almost certainly their killer. December 30th, 2022. Ethan, Xana, Madison, and Kaylee's murderer, arrested at his parents' Pennsylvania home. According to police, when arrested, murderer had only one question: "Who else did you arrest?" Fortunately, answer was nobody. But they had their perpetrator. No doubt whatsoever. Just to be sure, authorities took cheek swab, compared his DNA with that found on sheath. Outcome was undeniable. The STR profile is at least 5.37 octillion times more likely to be seen if defendant is source than if unrelated individual randomly selected from general population is source. This meant online manhunt could stop, right? If only internet worked that way. While most people accepted their theories were wrong, some refused to abandon them. People were completely convinced random people in town or victims' lives were culprits. When perpetrator was arrested, many did not want to face fact that maybe they were wrong, but some were on fence. Amateur internet detectives believed there were still unresolved questions. After perpetrator's arrest, rumors surfaced online that he'd been at Adam's bar on night he committed murders. Claim developed into entire narrative that perpetrator had been removed from bar for inappropriate behavior, had stalked or interacted with victims there. So perpetrator hits on Kaylee and Maddie at bar. They rejected him. He follows them home and violently stabs them. No evidence found of this occurring. Regardless, bar received second wave of abuse, flooded with phone calls demanding more information. Harassment became so overwhelming, they were forced to make statement on social media. Suspect was not and has not been here. No one was removed from bar evening of incident. Stop calling us. But they weren't only talking about online sleuths. This is about ABC, NBC News, CBC News, Fox News, CNN too. The below tweet is in direct response to one of above stopping by to do story on something we know not to be true. Barr's request met with immediate pushback. Your issues with people calling are not single portion of what families of these murdered children are dealing with. Sorry for your slight inconvenience. You're garbage dive bar in garbage college town. Stay in your lane. Barr stopped responding, believing they were only feeding fire. But seeing ongoing aggression, some users stepped in to show support. So sorry for harassment everyone is experiencing. I can't believe people actually call. The audacity. Just 2 days later, truth finally came out. January 5th, 2023. Probable cause affidavit unsealed, detailing police's investigation and route to identifying perpetrator as masked stranger who entered house that night. First time public informed of everything that happened. How one survivor actually saw masked intruder walk into sliding glass door of house. Committing murders. Explained DNA evidence. Investigation into car. Phone data. Every step of process. For months, public, including victims' families, criticized Moscow Police Department for apparent cluelessness, lack of public information, slow pace of investigation, created information vacuum that led many to believe police simply not doing their jobs. However, affidavit proved otherwise, detailing every aspect of focused and extensive investigation authorities conducted. But even though culprit caught, he still needed to be found guilty in court. May 22, 2023. Perpetrator takes stand for first time. Despite overwhelming evidence stacked against him, perpetrator does not enter plea of guilty or not guilty. Instead, his attorney tells judge, "Your Honor, we are standing silent." In legal world, standing silent is uncommon, but legal strategy where defendant chooses not to enter plea. Attempt to keep options open for potential negotiations later, like pleading guilty to avoid death penalty. Under Idaho criminal rules, when this happens, judge required to enter not guilty plea on defendant's behalf. For next 2 years, perpetrator and attorney maintain their silence. But July 2nd, 2025, weeks before trial set to begin, everything changed. During pre-trial hearing, perpetrator asked if he murdered all 4 victims. He said yes, pleading guilty as part of plea deal. He showed no emotion throughout, even as victims' families struggled to stop crying. Dylan Mortensen, one of surviving roommates, added, "I can't breathe. I can't think. I can't stop shaking. It's far beyond anxiety. It's my body reliving everything over and over again. My nervous system never got message that it's over. Won't let me forget what he did to them." But perpetrator's plea deal worked, spared him from death penalty in exchange for 4 consecutive life sentences without parole. Kaylee Goncalves' family expressed strongest opposition on lack of death sentence, posting on Facebook, "It's true. We are beyond furious at State of Idaho. They have failed us. Please give us some time. This was very unexpected." They accused prosecutors of making deal with devil, criticized timing, said they were given insufficient notice to process or object to agreement. Despite pleading guilty and facing life in prison, perpetrator never explained why he did any of this. Internet has its own theories, but only he knows why. And likely even if we were told, we could never truly understand motive behind his unthinkable acts. There are many instances where web sleuthing actually yields positive results. Take case like internet's hunt for man who posted videos online of himself torturing and killing kittens, and later, a human. Through his photos and videos, group of amateur Facebook investigators managed to track him down long before police identified him. But that investigation led mainly by 2 level-headed people following focused and logic-based process. Nobody accused until there was credible, clear evidence to back it up. By time they went to police, they had dossier of evidence to support claims. Case of Idaho Four was absolute disaster by comparison. Disorganized, emotional mob accusing anybody and everybody with no evidence to back claims up. From outset of this case, police messaging was confusing. Lack of communication indicating any progress amplified fear felt by people in Moscow community and online. Knowing there's killer on loose and having police force that appears uncoordinated and lacking sense of urgency did not inspire confidence in community. It was inevitably going to lead to public's desperate, panicked efforts to take matters into their own hands. But this case highlighted unique modern problem. Social media. Algorithm rewarded and promoted sensationalized, controversial content on TikTok and other platforms over actual fact-based reporting. Promoted absurd theories and wild accusations, allowing creators to profit from blatant, reputation-destroying slander. More negative, fearful emotions content could stir up, more interactions it got. More those provocative videos got pushed. It's typical true crime cycle. Most of us don't live in Moscow, Idaho. Only ever saw it through our screens. When case is dramatized and sensationalized, tragedy stops feeling real. Through rumors and theories of crimes of passion, spurned exes, or random hoodie guys, story gets presented as mystery to be pieced together for fun. We forget these are people because we're caught up in wanting to solve puzzle. If this case teaches us anything, it's that whether you're content creator or consumer, engaging in online speculation about someone committing crime has real-world consequences. One of most extreme examples in this case is TikTok psychic Ashley Gillard, who falsely accused University of Idaho professor of orchestrating murders. Professor's defamation lawsuit against Ashley reached resolution in 2025, with court finding Ashley liable for defamation. No information released on settlement or damages paid, but all of Ashley's efforts to countersue have been dismissed. Ashley did what so many social media users did with this tragedy. They treated human suffering as opportunity to theory craft for their own amusement and personal gain. In process caused even more human suffering. Bethany, one of surviving roommates accused by mob early in investigation, suffered psychological trauma as result. At trial, her statement read, "By friend." Her words gave valuable look into experience of someone on other end of accusations. I still carry so much regret and guilt for not knowing what happened and not calling right away, even though I understand it wouldn't have changed anything. Social media made it so much worse. Strangers made up stories to entertain themselves. Media harassed not just me, but also my family. People showed up at our house, called my phone, my parents' phones, other family members' phones. We were chased while I was still trying to survive emotionally and grieve loss of my friends. Before we end this video, make sure you're subscribed and hit that like button. We don't show the killer's face or name. This is part of our continued effort to report on cases like these as ethically as possible. Our goal is to avoid giving people like Ethan, Xana, Madison, and Kaylee's killer any more spotlight than media has already given them. If you want to know more about why we're doing this, watch our video on Kitten Killer case. In it, we discuss importance of no notoriety movement in detail. And if you want to show your appreciation to people whose hard work made this video possible, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It's best thing you can do to help us make more videos like this one. Click video on your screen now to hear about case FBI is asking Internet to solve after failing for 26 years.